Hey everybody, welcome to Real Life Sci-Fi with Wade and Willie. I'm Wade.
I'm Willie.
This is a podcast about the paranormal and contemporary mythology. Join us on patreon.com/real life sci-fi for access to 2 bonus episodes a week, video feeds, and more. And reallifesci-fi.show for a bunch of other stuff. Let's welcome aboard the SSRLSF, a spiritual strategist, manifestation expert, speaker, and best-selling author, Latha Jay.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Howdy.
How's it going? Thanks for being here. So you're a manifestation expert. Willie, well, so here's the thing. I've tried all of these manifestation things. Do you have a go-to? I've tried sigils. You do sigils? Okay. And I've tried, I don't know, prayer. Does that count? Does praying count?
Yeah.
What's your go-to for manifestation? Oh, dream boards. What did you think of, what was it? The Secret. What did you think of The Secret 20 years ago? You remember that?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. Actually, it was The Secret that actually gave me an idea and a voice for how to explain manifestation because I grew up with the idea and the concept of energy and how we create our reality and things like that. It was ingrained in us. That's the way that I was raised. And I didn't understand that other people
Lucky.
didn't. I never knew that other people live different until I was like a kid in school, and my friends were like, what the heck are you talking about? I'm like, oh, okay, learn to be quiet about it, right? And then The Secret came out and I was like, oh shit, like other people know about this. Like other people talk about this. There's a language that I can use to explain this to people. And it just really shifted my life.
So give me your secret then. How do I do this? Is it me? Is it my brain? Are there certain people who are just bad at it?
You do have to rewire. I'm working on it. I'm in the middle of rewiring.
So I'll say that there is a bit of rewiring that happens. It's not that you're bad at it. It's just there might be a lot of shit in the way of you actually getting to what it is that you want. And when we're actually uncovering all of that and allowing a better understanding of our shadows and understanding of ourself, then we move all those blocks out of the way. And then what you want is so accessible to you. It becomes very simple.
I think my best example is, and I'm still working on this too, is that like anxiety and fear make us say things like, don't miss the free throw. Don't miss the free throw. Don't be late. Don't be late. The universe doesn't hear the negative and it just hears the subject, which is late, which is miss the free throw.
Yes. Or the thought, I want to get out of debt. I just want to be out of debt. The universe only hears the word debt. Right. So a bit of what I teach is really about creating things in the positive present tense and being mindful of the way that you speak, because your words create your world, and how you are speaking and showing up in the world is determining how your world is in existence for you and the reality that you're interacting with.
Okay, so basically just be a really good person. Like it sounds like it sounds like this is for people who don't need therapy at all, who've just like, well, no.
No, not at all. No.
It sounds like you already have to have your brain figured out to do this.
No, I'll say that you have to have ideas. So the quickest manifestors and the best manifestors I've ever seen have been people that actually understand their limiting beliefs very clearly. And not that they don't have limiting beliefs, not that they don't have shadows, but that they just understand them. So that when that limiting belief does come up, they can identify it as such and not allow it to just kind of pull them into a tangential life of what that limiting belief wants them to live, not living in that small way that the limiting belief wants us to live. And that might look like if you're going for a job promotion, that voice that comes up of like, you're not good enough for it. Don't even apply. Like you suck. Those are your shadows. That's your limiting belief coming up. But it's like when you understand and can identify them, oh wait, that's a limiting belief. Limiting belief, thank you for being here. And I'm going to apply for the job anyways. I'm going to move forward with my life anyways. That's when your life starts to change.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to be positive, man. But so how do you teach this one-on-one, or is this something that you write about? Because you've got books too. So if you want to shout out those books.
Yeah, sure. I have 2 books that are out, and then this book behind me, it's called The 24/7 Manifestation Method. It's actually coming out in October of this year, October 6, 2026. And this one talks about manifesting in a very practical way, like understanding it through neuroscience and how really like the idea of the thoughts that we think again and again become beliefs. And then that belief then influences our actions, and our actions then really play into how our life goes, how we're seen by the world and how we see the world, how we respond and react to the world. And that's really all in this book. But it's actually one of my favorite manifestation methods. It's called a 24/7 because you're writing down your affirmation 24 times in the morning, 24 times in the evening for 7 days consecutively. And in that process, you're rewiring your subconscious mind. And one of the things that really plays into this with the neuroscience is that it works in this state of awareness. It's called a hypnagogic state. It's a state of time between rest and wakefulness. And when you kind of anything you think about, anything you are repeating to yourself in that time where we're writing our affirmations down, it becomes embedded in your subconscious. It's kind of like a hack to get into your mind and to shift your thoughts very quickly. So it really just takes 7 days of this consistency and this repetition, and the thought in your mind is rewired. So then you show up in the world differently because the thought has been updated. Let me say the software within your computer system
Right.
has been updated, and
Yeah.
then you show up differently in the world.
What is a spiritual strategist?
Yeah, so I have studied extensively Ayurveda and integrative medicine and bunch of different sciences and stuff. And basically, what that has come to really teach me is that no part of us is separate. It means our mind, our body, and our souls are really all connected. And when we have an imbalance in one, it really affects everything and together. And I think a lot in the Western world, we think of our mind and our body being very separate, our spirit being something different, associated maybe with religion or something like that. But we think of when we have a physical ailment, it's only physical. When we have a mental ailment, it's only mental. But the truth of the matter is that it's really all combined. So I support people in really understanding what it is that they want to achieve in their life, getting very clear about their goals, and then having a pathway and a direction towards actually being able to achieve that works in all areas of your life.
What do you think what do you think the afterlife is?
I think that the afterlife is, can I tell you a story?
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
So I've had these ideas about the afterlife. I was raised a Hindu and I believe in reincarnation. I really, really do. And I've seen like instances of this again and again, but I'll tell you that a few years ago, my father became ill and died very quickly. So he was diagnosed with cancer. Before we knew it, a couple weeks later, he was dead. And the decline was rapid. And in those last couple of days, but really like the last day of his life, my sister was sleeping in the room with him, just kind of watch over him, and I was sleeping in the guest bedroom. And suddenly I had woken up in the middle of the night, and something had woken me up, and I could see three spirits very clearly moving out of our house like so quickly. And I could hear my father's voice very quick, very, very clearly going, "Woohoo!" Now, in the waking life of my father, I had never heard him say woohoo. He was not really like a woohoo kind of guy, He was kind of very, very
I don't
type
know a
A,
lot of
crazy.
fathers who are.
Yeah, he was like, just got his shit done kind of thing. But I could
Mhm.
so clearly hear it. And I just thought, whoa, whatever is on the other side is fucking amazing. Like that is
Mhm.
incredible, and it gave me this like whole idea about like what death really is and how it's maybe really not even that bad. I think people fear death a lot, and I don't think that that's necessary because when we're living
Well,
our life, I think that we should live our life as fully and passionately as we can and not necessarily fear death, but when death comes for us, just to know that it's like the next step. That's it.
There's a little
right, but
side
then
tangent question. Do you think that your
karma.
afterlife is affected by what you believe in the present?
Oh,
Like where you go, like what the experience is.
Yeah.
No, I truly believe that we all go back to source, and it's like the light source, essentially, if you want to think of it like that. And no, I don't think it really matters. But I will say that I think that we choose certain situations, certain bodies, certain lives, certain families and areas to come into and reincarnate on Earth to have certain experiences. So when we're fulfilling that and having those experiences, we feel like we've had the adventure that we set out to have and feel fulfilled. I often think of Earth as like the Six Flags of the universe. Like we're coming here to have an amazing time, to go on the roller coasters, to figure it out, to see if we can cut the lines or not, or, to eat the funnel cake and do all of this stuff. Like that's how I always view Earth.
okay. But you do believe in reincarnation. So you think you go to this, what'd you call it? Source light? What'd you call it?
Light source.
Light source. And then it's like there's a bunch of like doorways or something, and you can go like, I'll be British this time.
Kind of, kind of. I think that it has a lot to do. So I also believe in soul groups. You know about soul groups?
I don't.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's the idea. Yeah, go ahead, Willie, if you want to explain
Oh,
it.
no. Well, you're probably better at explaining it, but ultimately, your experience is attached to a group of souls. And as you reincarnate, you encounter them again. So maybe they're close to you. Maybe there's someone you end up dating. Maybe when you walk by someone and you feel like you know them, that they're part of your soul group. And then in this chance, they just weren't that close to you or.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like Halloween, where you see all your friends, but you don't recognize them.
Ah,
And then you get done and you go, "Oh, you were the Frankenstein?"
yes. Okay. In that aspect, yes, absolutely. I think that that's actually a great way to explain it. I think that when we're in light source, we kind of have this idea of what we want to experience on Earth. And that might be, hey, this time around, I want to get to experience great for the depths of forgiveness. And then my soul group buddy would be like, okay, cool. I'm going to do something so crappy to you that you're going to have to forgive me for. And we're like, okay,
Right,
cool. We high five our little light source hands and we jump back into Earth into these meat suits in which we don't remember the agreement.
right,
Right.
right,
And then eventually, when we're 25, we meet our light source buddy from our soul group and he punches us in the face or he steals our girlfriend or, he
yeah,
wrecks our car that we lent him, whatever the case is. And then we have the opportunity at that point to forgive him in a very deep manner or not.
It's
But
fun. It's a
when we
fun,
do,
yeah. There's a guy, I was just reading this article about this guy. He thinks that Earth is like a prison. We're all on rings outside of Earth. I don't know if you guys saw this. I don't even know. I think it was a astronomer or what are the guys who go into space called?
astronaut.
Astronaut.
Yes, Jesus. I, but he wasn't. It was news for a reason because he had some sort of credible. But he was saying that the souls are in invisible rings outside of the earth, and then when we're bad, we get sent to Earth as like a jail. I don't know.
I've heard
Interesting.
Something
so
to
many
think
different
about.
things and they're all fascinating to me. One of them that I heard too is that like there's these people, these ancient people that study these names to break codes to get out of the Earth soul system that like we're stuck in here until we break out. But the only way to break out is to have the keywords, know the names, and say them after
Is
death.
this that thing? Yeah, is this that thing where there's like seven layers and you keep moving up or whatever? I feel
Yeah,
like I was
yeah.
just reading about this. Is that what that is?
That's
Yeah.
one that's one version. One coming from they say that this is written in
But what,
since
how are you supposed to know the keywords?
that religion studies those names.
Of that, whoever theorized this whole thing.
Yeah.
So they know them, they just have a book and they're just like, open sesame. Don't forget. It's open
Yeah. What are they
sesame.
called? The
It'd be funny if it was
archons.
that easy.
One version they're called the archons, but there's many versions that are close to that that have different. It's so weird to me because even people that have experienced death come back with completely different stories, and I'm just going like, for me, I feared death my whole life. Now I'm going like, I want to figure out the afterlife. And now I'm going like, well, I should be enjoying my experience here and not worrying about it because that's the whole point of it is to have
Mhm.
this experience and have the most love.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that people have different experiences of death because people have different experiences of life. It really has to do with your viewpoint, you know.
I'm gonna start doing wing. I was just watching some wingsuiting videos and I'm like, I should do that
The
because
squirrel suit.
yeah, the squirrel suit thing. This guy, he jumps up, he climbs a mountain and jumps up. I don't know. It's just like, what could be closer to flying? And if you fail, you just die, right? And then it's like, whatever. I wish. I'm too much of a coward. I can't do that. Let's get into the wow scale. Wow scale.
Are you a Wade or are you a Willie?
The wow scale stands for Wade or Willie. It's a 5-question quiz. At the end of the quiz, I'll give you a score anywhere between 0 and 5. If you're more of a 0, you're more of a Wade. If you're more of a 5, you're more of a Willie. Are you ready to be Wade on the wow scale?
Let's go.
I don't know if you knew this, but I'm kind of the
We used to say cynical. Now we say
right now we
skeptic.
say skeptical. Okay, just so you know. And then Willie believes all this stuff. So, first question: three-parter. Do you believe in aliens? If so, have they visited Earth? If so, have they visited Earth in the last 300 years?
Yes to all of the above.
All right. How does the alien, what do you think aliens are? How does it fit in with your spirituality and stuff?
So I heard this theory, and I might get it all mixed up, but I heard that aliens are really just versions of us from the future and
Hmm.
just developed in such a way in which we don't necessarily need these external ears, that we speak more telepathically, so our mouths become smaller. We have a lot more intelligence and our brains become bigger, so our heads are shaped, in a certain more ET-esque manner, things like that. And I think that there could
Yeah.
be truth to that.
All right. So yes to everything. Do you think disclosure will happen in your lifetime?
Yes.
Ooh, all right. You're trusting. You're a trusting person. I can tell, right? You kind of I can't trust these guys. They're not going to tell us anything. Question number three. Ghosts. You believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
Because you saw the what you call the spirits
Hmm.
that left, and
I
also who
tend
were
to
the other
see.
two, do you think?
So a lot of times in death, there'll be two people that come to get you, two spirits that you
Uh-huh.
know to accompany you on the journey to like give you guidance. So I believe
Do
that
you,
that's what that was.
are they traditionally like related to you, or is it just like some guys?
I think they're part of your soul group, people that you are familiar with, so you can go and not be, it's a big adventure that you're headed on. So to have a guide that you're familiar with is probably a little comforting through that.
Right. It's be so weird. Okay. I feel so vulnerable seeing my energy like that. Bigfoot. This is question number one, two, three, four. Bigfoot. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I have
That's
to
a
say I'm not
no.
sure because I think that
I'm
there's
saying a
probably
no.
some kind of creature, some version. I'm gonna say no. I live in the mountains too.
Yeah.
Say no.
Where do you live?
In the Poconos in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Um, did you grow up? Where did you grow up?
in New York.
Okay. Last question. Was 9/11 an inside job?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Not so trusting after all. I pegged you wrong.
So,
So,
Wade, you don't know this about me, but we homeschool our kids. We had a farm for a very long time. We homestead. We have beliefs that are
all
very
right. Are you off the grid?
no, I wish. No.
I know. I want to do that. I want to just move to the middle of nowhere. How close are your neighbors?
Right now, I mean, like I can see them, but they're pretty far.
Okay.
We used to live
Okay.
on a farm
Awesome.
because we wanted to be off grid and we wanted to do like the whole farming homestead thing. It was
Hmm.
very, very lonely. It was extremely lonely and isolating. So I think that if you're going to do that, just my guidance to that would just be form a community and go with other people, do it with a team of people that you go with. Because there's just
Yeah,
me and my husband,
ideally.
our two little kids, and I was like, this sucks. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just gonna eat all your new friends, your chickens, your cows.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so on the WoW scale, you're a 4 out of 5. That makes you mostly a Willy. Congratulations.
Thanks.
She doesn't care. He'll win you over though. Wait until he starts talking a lot more.
No, I mean, I
I
like
mean,
it.
then
It's cool.
well, okay. Just wait. Willie, hit us with the topic.
Tonight on Real Life Sci-Fi, manifesting. What if your thoughts are doing more than just shaping your attitude? What if they're actually influencing the reality you experience? Tonight we're diving into the strange world of manifesting, exploring everything from quantum theories, consciousness, simulation theory, synchronicities, fringe science, the dares, to ask whether the universe is listening. We'll see where we end up. Our guest is a spiritual strategist, and we'll get into, is manifesting just psychology wrapped in spirituality, or are we only beginning to understand how mind and reality might be connected? Tonight on Real Life Sci-Fi.
Okay, so all right, very broad. So we're just doing manifesting. Do you want to zero us in on any one aspect of it, Willie, or how do you
Well,
want to begin?
I wouldn't mind just brushing over the science things that make it real, because I think the hardest thing for anyone to do is to actually start believing this. You have to convince yourself. And so I think the best way to start convincing yourself is to just run through the sciences. And then if you get into spiritual stuff, Because here's the thing. If you ever talk to someone who just joined a new religion, they had a powerful experience. And that experience changed their belief enough for them to believe strongly in that new thing.
Mhm.
And I'm saying, why don't we focus on shaping what we want our mind to believe in instead of waiting for something to line up? Because I don't want you to give all that power to some religion when the power is actually inside of you and you can do it yourself. That's my biggest problem with religion. I love people are trying to better themselves, be spiritual. You're more powerful than any god in any of these books. You are that powerful. That's what I think.
I mean, I kind of agree with you, really. I think that we're source energy and we are the creators of our reality and of our experience. You know, if you even, I mean, and every major religion talks about this too, that we're made in the image and likeness of God. And if God has all these, powers, then why wouldn't we? It's just a matter of if we remember that we do or not.
And you can apply anything that you read to fit whatever belief you have. Maybe the likeness was the power that we have. It has nothing to do with the looks. It's the likeness of the abilities. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, convince yourself what you should believe in. I don't know. That's a hard thing to say too, because it's easy to go down a dark path in that realm, but
Well,
convince
okay.
yourself
So
what you
what?
should believe in.
So right. So what's the science then?
Okay, well, first off, placebo effect. Oh, you took the sugar pill, but you believed it, so it worked. And so they'll easily say that that belief is why the sugar pill worked instead of that belief is the only reason why it worked. And it doesn't matter what this real pill is. So I just think it's funny because the placebo effect works on both ends of the spectrum, the drug and the non-drug.
Mm-hmm.
The Pygmalion effect. These aren't all just science things. This is basically when others expect more from us, our performance often improves.
Mhm.
Manifesting advocates argue our own expectations may work in the same way. I expect more from you, so I'm actually going to do better. I'm paying attention or yeah, I like what you said, Latha. I mean, your 24/7 method because it's that same thing. If you can, and it reminds me growing up of these cassettes that you'd put on when you go to bed and
Mhm.
you wake up and tricking your subconscious mind to believe your conscious mind
Yep.
or to believe in yourself. And no
But
matter what the trick is, it works.
that's based in science. That trick that you're saying, it's based in science. It's called a hypnagogic state. That state of awareness that's between rest and wakefulness. And that's the time that your subconscious is the most impressionable. It happens two times during the day, once when you wake up in the morning and once when you go back to sleep at night. And that's when we tap into for the 24/7 manifestation method. To really, it's kind of like a hack to get into your thoughts, and circumvent all the other stuff that might be going on there. You're just rewriting your subconscious so then you start to think differently.
So
Love it.
wait. So for the 24/7 thing to work,
Mhm.
aren't you putting yourself into the hippo? Can you say it again? I want to say
Hypnagogic state.
hypnagogic. Like, are you putting yourself in that state, or do you do it when you're in that state, when you wake up
So
and before you go
you
to
you're
sleep?
naturally in that state. So as soon as you wake up in the morning, before you like brush your teeth and walk around and have your coffee and all that stuff, no. Like right as soon as your eyes open and consciousness is starting to return back to you, you grab your pen, you grab your notebook, and you start to write out your affirmations 24 times. And what that does is it allows repetition to happen in your brain and really like get into your subconscious. So these new neuronal pathways are being able to be formed, and your thoughts are then becoming strengthened in that space. So when we're doing it with repetition and consistency in the morning and the evening for 7 days consistently, it really strengthens those neuronal pathways so they can continue to fire and exist even when you're not doing the practice.
Okay, all right. I'm just trying to get as much information out of you so I don't have to buy the book. I'm just I'm just joking.
And how does chapter one go again?
So well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. I'm a writer, and so I've been using when I go to sleep. I'm always stuck on a script somewhere, right? So when I go to sleep, I start thinking about it. And it's also like how I put myself to sleep because it's like, geez, who wants to think about this, right?
Mm.
Uh, but I always like crack something in my story by doing that, and I'm wondering if I'm doing it on accident, like if I'm
Yeah.
using your method on accident. You know what I mean?
You might be.
That state of mind where I don't know who it was. I was reading something about one of these great minds and how how you can take a power nap. They
Yeah.
thought
What they say,
that
was it Edison or something that like only.
nah, go
Oh, I
on.
know you don't like Edison. But there was someone who, maybe it was, I don't remember who it was. Maybe Newton. Maybe it's old, but they said he would sleep like 12 minutes at a time, like every hour or something crazy like that.
Mm.
I do like the cat way of sleeping. I don't sleep that much, and I'm really smart.
The cat way.
And, well, they
Cats
just
sleep
they.
all day, man. I got one. She's asleep right now.
No, but whoever this was, luckily for me, I have a great memory. Instead of taking a power nap, they thought that you could get the same strength of a nap if you just entered that sleep state for a split second. And so, like, they would like when they're about to fall asleep, they'd hold like a weight and just try to go to sleep. And as soon as they fall asleep, the weight would fall and they'd wake up and they would get rest from that one moment. And it's so funny because I experienced that a lot because I'm always tired. And if I lay down, I fall asleep for a second, and then Moose will wake me up. You need, read, and then I'll just have energy and be able to wake up.
Well,
Mm.
because no, not because of the sleep, because you were just jolted awake in a horrible manner that made your endorphins flood your system. Can you imagine holding a weight and when you fall asleep, it like crashes to the ground? So you get
No,
startled awake.
it's just your arm moving. It's just a tiny.
Whatever. It's
I think like
but
picture
like
like a paperweight.
is this the same as there's the urban legend of if you get relaxed. I feel like this is an urban legend. Maybe it's just something I heard of once, but like if you get relaxed enough where if you're holding a pencil that you can like if you're like if you have it between your fingers and you get relaxed enough that you let it go, that's like the equivalent of 15 minutes of sleep. Have you guys heard that? Am I
No.
No, but that sounds like the article
It's
I
just
read.
some
It
lie
was.
I heard one time and
I don't.
thought,
It
like,
could be
this is
true.
the way
I
the
don't
world
know.
works. Right.
It could be true.
So of
Um,
course, confirmation bias. Your beliefs will influence what evidence you notice. Manifesting suggests changing beliefs changes your experience to reality. But you know what? Make it work for
how could
you.
it not? If I'm like, I want a new Barbie bike and then I get a Barbie bike, I'm like, well, the world is weird, right?
Yeah.
Should I
I
do
had
that? What's the ultimate test? Or is testing manifestation like a bad idea? Because like, well,
I don't think it's a bad idea.
okay, so if I just manifest a Barbie bike, that's something that will never come across. I don't even know if those exist, right?
But here's the thing. If you are testing, I want to give you
Yeah.
some guidelines to test within. It has to be
Okay.
something. So if you have great skepticism, start
Hmm.
small and make it something that's relatively easy because it's like an easy step in and then work your way up. You can manifest anything you want, right? But like it might be manifesting a free cup of coffee because you're like,
Yeah.
whatever. Like that's so there's no resistance towards actually getting that. Right. When you think about having it, you don't have any kind of limiting beliefs about it or anything really coming up for you. So when you're focused on that and it happens, then you get a little bit more confident in your ability to manifest. You say, wait a second,
Sure.
what's
Okay.
here?
Okay.
And then you go again and again and again. You kind of can work your way up.
I want to do this, man. It doesn't seem fair that other people can do it. So I
You can do
I'm
it. Wait, you can do it.
I'm open-minded about it, but I'm just so that's the other thing. Is it like a huge, I know that we've been talking about rewiring your brain and stuff like that, but I feel like the obstacle of me getting over the skepticism is like too large because I just can't make myself believe it, you know? So how the
So
fuck?
the
What the
thing about
fuck?
the thing about manifesting is that we're creating our reality, right? That's the baseline of it. We're creating our reality. So just as we're creating the things that we do want, we're also creating the limits. So if we believe this doesn't work, okay, we're creating a limit around it. If we believe it takes, 10 months to accumulate an additional $10,000, well, okay, we're creating a limitation around it. And it's the same thing because just as you're creating the limits, you're creating the box, you're creating the thing that you want, you're creating all of it.
I know. it's like a catch-22. I how do I prove I'm crazy if I'm
It's
not crazy, you know?
it's hard, especially if you're like trying to manifest while you're gambling.
Okay.
I do a lot of thrifting, and over the past like 6 years, I've been wanting to get a bunch of original Transformers, and I've gotten at least 10. And I'm like, how am I getting original Transformers from thrift shops today? It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got one you can have in my bag. I don't display it. It's one of the Dino bots.
What dinosaur?
I think it's the I think it's the Stegosaurus.
Okay, Snarl. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a Snarl,
Okay.
but he's missing 2 legs.
Oh, well you can use them for parts, dude.
Wow.
I've been trying to help Moose do this, and when
Wait,
we
I
play
wanted to
board,
say something. I wanted to say something. This is like I don't know if you guys have seen every Seinfeld, but there's the one where George just gets like all the parking spots and
yeah.
he shit. Sam Brown is calling me. This is the first phone call I've ever gotten during any record in like 10 years. um Oh, but he just kind of lives his life as like, well, the parking will be there. And I think like, yeah, you kind of have to get to that point, right? Where it's like not even manifesting it, it's just believing that that it will exist for you or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
what
live
so
that
go on.
life.
You've been trying to do you live that okay.
I always get front row parking, and if there's a raffle, I always win. This last
Ew.
job I went to, which was like a mock jury trial, 2 people were going to win $50 if they showed up 15 minutes early, and I was the 12th person to show up, and I won. It's like sweet. I knew I was going to win.
Yeah.
Latha, this is for you too. Every raffle you win.
Yeah. I mean, just recently we
If I'm
went
in
to
person, if I'm not, it
yeah,
doesn't
in
matter.
person, in person. I think that that has a lot to do with the energy. Yeah, one of our friends was having a raffle for like a church fundraiser or something, and we were like, yeah, okay, we're gonna put, tickets into each bin or whatever. There was only really 2 bins that I wanted. One was like a mom one that had like a mug and a shawl. It was cute. And one was like dad one. I wanted to give it to my husband. I was like, oh, those two are cute. The rest of them, I wasn't sure. They had candy and stuff. Not really my thing. And yeah, those were the 2 that I won. And they called our name first, like they picked it up, and I was like, oh, that's my number. Went and got it. And they were like, yeah, of course you got to choose the manifestation person. Da da da. I was like, yeah, cool. And then they called it again. And they're like, how did you do that? And after that, I had this sense that I was like, oh, I should not win again. And I was just, even if they called my number, I wouldn't
So you
go.
played it cool. Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I won twice at a raffle once too. I
Yeah.
walked in and they were walking to the stage. Let me throw a couple in there, and I won 2 things. So I was like, okay, sorry. But I'm trying to teach my son Moose how to do that, and we play a lot of board games. And you're a kid, you just roll the dice, and I'm like, just pick what you want to roll, and then roll that. And so
Yeah.
I get a lot of rolls, and I always tell them what I want. Here's a 6. Here's a 6.
That's
It's great.
great. I play games with my kids. So like one of the things is like if we're ever waiting somewhere, I tell them, hey, try to guess the next car that's going to come. What car do you want to see? And they'll say something random. It'll be like a golden PT Cruiser. And we're like, okay, cool. And we're like, look out for it. And then all of a sudden, golden PT Cruiser will roll by and we're like, ah, that happened. Or red truck or whatever it is in particular, right? It'll be like, we're just watching the cars, and then one comes by. And it's just like allowing them to understand how we create our reality and how simple the simple things. There's no resistance towards seeing a certain kind of car. We don't have that. So it comes to us very quickly.
what about the guy in the car? What's he doing? The guy driving it.
Where am I going?
Yeah, it just comes to. See, Willie, we just answered alien abductions. These people lose time because they've been manifested into into a fun game for kids not to get bored.
Let's see. The observer effect in psychology, being observed changes human behavior.
That's true, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too true.
I always stare at people from my second floor trying to get them to look up, and a couple of people have. It's weird.
What do you do then? Do you duck?
I used to duck, but I'm like, oh, that's gonna make them see me. So I either wave or just sit still.
You just sit still. That's creepy.
Because waving is cool.
What about nodding? You don't nod?
I think it's too dark, you know. I'm not
Mhm.
like at the window. I'm like in the kitchen.
Yeah, I always wonder. I'm always watching people. Uh, I got a sidewalk right here, and I feel like if they saw me looking, they'd think I was a creep.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they can see me. What's Moose doing? Get him out of here.
He's asking how many more minutes till I'm done with the show.
Oh my God, we just started. Tell him that.
Here comes the moose. Like at least 9.
He's sleepy. He's in his PJs.
He wears his PJs all day long if he's at home.
Cool.
Yeah. Do you do meditation?
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up in a family that meditated, and later on in my, I'd say, young adulthood, I started to practice transcendental meditation, and that's the practice that I continue on today. But I also love Vipassana meditation. Those are probably my top two faves.
What's the second one?
Vipassana.
See, I don't think I've heard of that. Like, what's the difference? I've heard of the Hollywood types call it TD. Like Seinfeld's really into it, I think.
Uh, TM, transcendental
Oh,
meditation.
sorry, yeah, TM.
Okay, I was like TD. I don't know about that. Yeah, there's a lot of celebrities that are into it. Jim Carrey, was really like into. There's tons of celebrities that are, and I think that they just find peace within meditation practice that helps them to deal with all the chaos that's going on externally. And I think that's true for everybody. But celebrities tend to kind of stick to it because it seems, I don't know, maybe exciting and fun and
Yeah, they also have the time. They're already loaded.
true.
They can devote their whole lives to just thinking about stuff. Damn it,
True.
we're gonna move it back again.
I'm making him some
Um,
butter bread. He's not good at spreading the butter. I'm into this idea that everything down to the molecular level can our belief affects that in that same way too. And I don't know, what's your experience? What's your experience with that as far as like
talking
what
about like
about
string theory and stuff.
well, yeah, I believe that we exist in a non-physical world, and so the we can affect us on the we who's the guy? Hold on. Who's the guy? Joe Dispenza, like
Yeah,
who is like healed
becoming
himself,
supernatural. Yep.
focusing on the little things that are wrong inside his body.
Yeah.
Have you had, well, two-part question. One is, have you had any illnesses or sicknesses or whatever that you've healed yourself, and or have you externally helped somebody else?
Yes to both. I had liver issues for actually many, many years, and it's a two-part thing here, right? I was working on it mentally, but then I also believe that any form of manifestation requires at least a bit of aligned action on the outside. And in conjunction, I think I healed my liver in like 30 days, maybe a little longer, 45 days if you want to give it a buffer kind of thing. Yeah, completely from the space of it being, like escalating to various different stages of fatty liver disease and all of this non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, to being completely healed, to going in for a scan and my ultrasound tech saying like, nope, I see nothing here.
Awesome.
I mean, she was like, I think this diagnosis is wrong because it said, just 2 months ago that you had fatty liver disease. I think this was wrong. And I was like, nope, it wasn't. I saw the scan.
Did you? Okay. I just saw, how they're like unclassifying a bunch of stuff now. I saw a thing and it was like some kind of CIA report
The
about
gateway.
what's that?
Is it the gateway? That whole the
It
documentation
was,
like that.
it might be. It was, I only remember like segments and it was like, it was for soldiers. Like if you're injured in the field, like think about the color,
55515.
yeah,
Heard
that
that?
thing. Okay. Yeah. Is that the gateway, Willie? Do you know?
I don't know, but yeah,
That's grab a boy numbers. That's what you're thinking about.
yeah,
So you know about all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Did you when you were healing your liver, did you think of like a color like they do in that document, or is it entirely different process?
Huh. I think I thought about a color, but I kept imagining my liver being completely healed and what that would look like. I
Uh-huh.
also
Did you have to like Google image what a liver looks like first? Because I would have no idea.
So interestingly enough, I spent 7.5 years in medical school. So I've
Oh
dissected
shit.
many human bodies, and I very
So
clearly
it's
know what a
easy.
liver looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got first person experience.
Yeah, and I know, I know what a healthy liver looks like. I know what a fatty liver looks like. I know what a cirrhosis liver looks like. And it was a really about clearly seeing that within myself. But then also I did this thing in which it was almost like cartoony, and that's the only way I can explain it. But I had this idea that there's like these cartoon things within me that were helping to clear out my liver. So like
That's
they're
cool.
pulling up the fatty deposits and they're clearing it out so it can heal and putting in things. It was like
Yeah,
this.
like the
Imagine,
dozers from Fraggle Rock, like little guys in hard
yes,
hats and stuff.
exactly like that. And I think that that really played a big part into it as well.
I think
And
that
so the
too. My guys are little white blood cells though, because I know well, obviously you're like a doctor or whatever, but like I don't know why I've personified my white blood cells to be like attacking sicknesses. But I don't know if it works. But
You get sick a
so
lot.
no, I don't actually. I don't.
Well, there you go.
But did your medical schooling like get you into this, or are they in conflict with one another, or are they harmonious?
I think now they're more complimentary, let's say.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I often, I mean, even as a little kid, I always knew I wanted to help people. So I'm Indian, and my parents immediately were like, "Awesome, you want to help people? Become a doctor. That's the way you help people. That's the
sure.
one path, one true path." So I
Yeah, you hit
pursued.
a buzzword and your parents started frothing at the mouth,
They were
just
like, "Yes, do it,
salivating.
do it. That's what success is. That's the American dream. Become a doctor."
Right, right.
I had gone down that path, but I mean, I knew it wasn't for me. Like, from day one, I knew it wasn't for me. It was just a matter of really like building up the courage to say, I want to live my life the way that I want to live my life and not
Hmm.
necessarily do it according to how you want it to look or how society says it should look.
How did that go over when
It
because
did
you
not
did
go
what,
well.
7 years? So you were like almost done,
Yeah,
right?
it's a couple months away from, a couple rotations away from
Oh, that must
wow.
have killed that. I'm sorry that your father's already dead. You've killed him twice, right?
Listen, he dealt with it before his death, but also right before he died, actually, one of my first books came out, and he got to like hold it and read it and be with it.
Oh,
It was
cool.
like
Nice.
cool. He got to see that. I mean, he didn't see a lot of my other successes that came after, but I'm grateful that he got to see that at least.
That's
Well,
cool.
he has, right? If you believe in all this stuff, it's around, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever, a lot of people will feel presences and stuff like that. Do you ever, I don't want to get too into the afterlife. I don't know why. I just keep thinking about it, but doesn't that creep you out that the ghosts are watching you?
No, not at all. One of the first homes that I ever purchased with my husband was in Buffalo, and it was right near a cemetery. Nobody else wanted to live near a cemetery. And I was like, I see ghosts anyways. It doesn't matter if we're near a cemetery or not. They're there. So we had bought and rehabbed this like old, it was like 100-year-old house. And that was like the first place that we ever lived together. I don't know. I don't think people should fear the afterlife or spirits or anything like that. To the majority, of them are really easy to deal with, and they're just kind of figuring it out what they're doing. They don't really care about what you're doing.
Hmm. Okay. Willie, take us somewhere else.
I want
Where next
I
shall we travel
I want
here?
to get into consciousness and how I'm trying to define these things for myself because there's so many different things you can look into, and I'm liking the idea that consciousness is like a computer and the universe is the software. And so like I heard this thing recently where DNA isn't a code, it's an antenna. And so like how we I mean it's just repeating everything we've already said, but it's like focusing how you see your reality. So it's not just like picking and choosing a few things. You're trying to create a lifestyle. I listened to Robert Rodriguez talk yesterday.
The
Um,
director?
yeah, he was,
Okay.
they had a screening of Spy Kids and he was, I don't know if he was consciously manifesting, but everything he was saying was what he didn't use that word, but he's like, I say every day that I'm thankful that I get to have a creative life or, that I'm creative. And he just keeps repeating these things and it sounds like that's how he got successful because he didn't change. That's how he's always done it. And it was cool to hear that from a creative standpoint, where it's like, because I've been trying to manifest getting money, which is a weird thing, and so now I'm going like I'm trying to get creative, getting paid to be creative. So it's like I'm grateful that I'm getting paid for my creativity.
Latha, is manifesting money bad?
No, not at all. You can manifest whatever you want. And why would it be bad?
Well, I don't know. Is it like what he's saying where it's like, well, if I should focus on how to get the money rather than
Mhm.
just getting the money. You know what I mean?
No, so I mean, the way that I teach manifestation is that you have a very clear goal on what you want to achieve. So it's not just we want more money, it's that we have a certain goal, right? An additional $5,000 in your bank account kind of thing. And the how it happens is none of your business. That's the business of the universe. And I think that people sometimes get caught up because they try to micromanage the universe as to
Oh,
how that money is going to
interesting.
come to them. And in that process, they cut off all these different avenues in which that source of income.
Yeah, right.
So okay, that's good. But I for me, it was kind of like, oh, I don't want to focus on greed, even though I definitely need greed, whatever. I'm just going like, well, what
Well,
happens
see,
if I
but
get
Willie,
that? And I,
you're already falling into this
yeah,
is religion creeping in. There's because
yeah.
I know you don't have money, so how can you be greedy for asking for money? It's like,
Well,
you
it's kind
know,
of like my reaction if I get it to then want more, you know? Yeah, well, how about some more? How about a little more? How about a little more?
well, yeah, worry about that when you're a billionaire and you're like building data centers.
Yeah, damn it.
The idea
What?
that having money makes you greedy is a limiting belief in itself. There's plenty of people out there that have money and that you wouldn't consider are greedy. You know, there's plenty of people that have money then use that money for good rather than
No, for sure. And I agree with you. And to me, it's not about getting it. It's about only focusing on wanting it instead of a creative workflow or,
Mhm.
the creativity. So I'm like, yeah, I try to do both. I always say also to the universe, thank you for allowing me to always have more money than I need, even though it hasn't happened yet. I randomly
Well,
have
stop
enough.
thinking it. Stop thinking
Yeah.
it because it's not it's it's like this guy's great. He keeps thanking us, this universe that is now multiple beings in my brain for some reason.
I think gratitude is a great emotion to bring up in the space of manifest.
No, no.
Sorry. True. You know, there's three high vibrational emotions I always tell people to kind of tap into when you're manifesting, when you're visualizing and thinking about it, even when you're saying your affirmations. And one of them is gratitude. The other two is love and happiness, right? If you can, I don't know, sometimes it's hard to like fake the funk and get into a space of feeling love or feeling happiness. You can always
Yeah.
find gratitude though. You can always find something to be grateful for.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could conjure love. I don't know
Yeah.
what love is, you know?
Wow. Wait, that's sad,
It's
man.
fine. It's fine. I like being alone. It's good. Uh gratefulness, that's what your gratitude, love, and happiness. Okay. Well, that's easy. What about drugs? Do you do drugs?
Sometimes.
What's not to put you on blast, what kind of what's the do you hallucinate have you done hallucinogens?
Yeah, I mean, I actually spent a decent amount of time in the Amazon jungle with a tribe of people called the Shipibo.
Shut
And
up. What is this life? You've
Awesome.
got a crazy life.
and with them, we sat in ayahuasca ceremonies and they taught me about herbal healing and, really being able to heal our body with nature.
Did you throw up a bunch? Do you have to throw up for ayahuasca to work?
In the many ceremonies that I sat in, I probably throw up in 90% of them. So
Oh
10%,
shit.
I don't
Okay,
know.
so yeah. I've done shrooms, but that's it. And I did a little tiny microdose of acid, but I haven't done anything with purpose yet, you know?
Mm.
I need to do shrooms and just like I don't know, go live in a homeless encampment. That's kind of my dream.
Mm.
Do shrooms and live on the
I think
streets.
I think that if you are choosing to, indulge in psychedelics, just to really have an intention with it and to
Right.
control, I don't know if you ever heard set and setting, really like
Yeah.
create that for yourself and do it with intentionality. You're gonna have a different experience than, just kind of tripping for, I don't know, without it.
Yeah, I want it to work better too. I want to hallucinate. That should be my whole thing is I just want to hallucinate and see stuff. When you did ayahuasca, was it trippy? Did you like trip out and you've done it a
Yeah.
handful of times, so you've seen stuff, right?
I've done it dozens and dozens of times, many,
Did
many, many.
you encounter the beings
Mama ayahuasca, yes. Uh-huh. Yeah.
and
Oh, that's a
and
wait. Mama ayahuasca is the being's name?
Well, I mean, that's what many people have called her Mama Ayahuasca. It's a spiritual being that many people that sit with ayahuasca and ceremony get to encounter. And a lot of times when she comes to you, you can ask her, talk to her, like have this conversation, have this interaction with her. And for me at the time, I had actually just met my husband randomly. Like we had met at an art gallery. And everything was going great. And I had already set up this time to go to the jungle. So I was on my way to the jungle. And one of my thoughts was like, is this the person I'm supposed to be with? I don't know. Because I was divorced at that time and I'd gone through all this heartbreak. And I was just kind of like, is this the guy? Like everything's aligned, but I'm scared kind of thing.
Sure.
And in one of my ceremonies, Mama House came to me and I said, hey, I really need to know, is this the person I'm supposed to be with? And she told me very clearly, I will never tell you what to do with your life. And I'll show you in past lives when you've chosen to be with him and past lives when you've chosen not to be with him. And I went on this journey with her to see these lives. And I came out of it and I immediately knew that I wanted to be with him. And we got engaged. Like, I think I came back and within 3 weeks we were engaged. A few months after that, we got married. We had our first kid a year later. Like, we were just like,
Whoa.
this is it. Yeah.
So do you remember the lives that she showed you?
Somewhat. I more so than the events of the lives. I'll tell you that I felt the emotions of the lives. And I felt that there was always something missing in the life that I chose not to be with him. And in the life that I did chose to be with him, it felt more fulfilling. Now, if I had this experience next lifetime, I could choose else, and I could feel like, oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to feel this way than that way.
Right. I mean,
That's
you're gonna get to your soul group and be like, God, we did it again.
yeah.
I watched this video of someone who, there was a couple and the man was dying and he chose to take LSD when he was dying. And she talked about how it was so beautiful that, most people are clinging on to that last breath because they're trying to stay here and they're afraid of the afterlife. And it was peaceful to watch him just choose to go. And I'm like, oh, that's
Hmm.
a, that's crazy to, it's
I'm
weird because
I really want to just like I'm thinking 70. I want to just start doing like really hard drugs when I'm 70 years old, like heroin and stuff.
Oh.
Because because like by then it's just kind of like, well, whatever.
Hmm. I don't condone that way. I don't wish that
But
upon him.
no, well, but what if I get a community of people to do it with me, and then we all just do drugs, you
I would
know?
encourage you to look into plant medicine before you get into the hard stuff.
Okay. Like marijuana? I mean,
I mean, marijuana is a plant medicine, yes, but like hachuma is also
oh,
known
what's
as
that?
San Pedro, it comes from a cactus. And with it, you can
Ooh.
have a very heart opening experience with it. In higher doses, it can be more psychedelic inducing.
How do you
You,
get this stuff?
I mean, if you look, you'll find it.
Okay. All right. Give me
manifest
a
it.
list. I need a list. I just need a list of all
I
the
mean, you
words.
you could try peyote, you could try cacao. It's like such a simple, very entry level plant medicine. It's not even illegal in the States. I mean, you can get it from any. It's unprocessed chocolate essentially. You know.
But so you go to, did you say Brazil? Where did you say?
So when I had
Oh,
sat
in
with
the Amazon. Is that
people
what you
with my
said?
Amazon, yes. Mhm.
But then you're like with a bunch of strangers. How do you I don't know. I wouldn't want to do drugs with a bunch of strangers like that.
I mean, I really do believe that we're only surrounded by the people we're meant to be surrounded by.
Yeah. Okay. I just need to open my mind, I guess.
I would need
Um,
some music. You'd be like, you guys mind if I play this playlist?
hey
So,
Macarena.
so
I'm gonna take a little.
a lot of times when you're in an ayahuasca ceremony, there is a musician there.
But is
There's
it like sitar?
No, they usually sing Icaros. It's a traditional type of song that they're singing to help call out different energies that might be stuck within you, trapped within you. I mean, in one ceremony, I remember I was laying down on the mat and I could literally see like these black, I don't even know. I want to say like almost like a smoke, like black smoke rising up out of me, and I could hear the maestra, I guess the shaman you'll call him, calling it out of me, and I was like, holy shit, like this is
Wow.
yeah.
Well,
Does this
what I
okay?
was going to say earlier was there's civilizations that have a relationship with these, I don't want to just say hallucinogens, but like with these
Medicines, call them
Yeah,
medicines.
yeah. With these medicines that in a way that we don't. We were so afraid of these just from growing up in America, say no to drugs, don't do any of this crap. And then you find out that everyone through history has been doing them in a communal way.
Hmm.
It just fascinates me to try things as a society. I think that's pretty cool that like we're we're of the same
Well, we got
being. We're
alcohol. We got that going for us. Bunch of
Yeah, I mean, drink,
drunks.
you go to a bar and I do think everyone that drinks is cool.
Yeah, people who drink are
Hey
the
man,
coolest.
what do you drink?
I mean, I would much rather people try mushrooms than drink alcohol. I think
Yeah,
it's
for
more
sure.
damaging to your body. Alcohol is much more damaging to your body than
That and the
acid.
wrong people are always the worst drunks, man. Like, there's so many people who
Yeah.
just should not drink at all.
I think that the relationship these societies had with medicines, I feel like has helped them manifest and shape the society that they wanted. They had
Mhm.
an idea of what they wanted their society to be, whereas us, it's like, I think we have an idea of what we want our neighbors to be, but
Mhm.
not our whole,
The larger vision. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we're focused on the tree and not the forest. I get that.
And so, I mean, with that, we could go down all kinds of paths. Like, do you believe that the Earth is a conscious organism?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to
Right?
say
I haven't experienced anything to make me believe it, but I could believe it just because I think that whatever we think consciousness is, I'm open to it being stuff I can't believe in.
me
But
too.
isn't the whole point that you can just believe whatever you want and then that's the truth? Like, couldn't you just do that and be like, because like what does it matter if the earth is an organism to you or not?
I
Yeah,
think if
right.
we understood the earth as a living organism, we would treat it better.
Yeah, totally. That's and the same thing with like, well, it's weird because
Like if it
I
were a
don't I don't
whale or
apply that
something
to I
and
don't
we're
apply
just
that
like hanging
to
out on a whale.
insects
Sorry.
that can or rats or whatever things that can
Pests.
pests, yeah, things that can end up killing you if you don't control it, which is I don't know, it's weird, but it's true,
Well,
Get some
but
cats
that
on your farm.
but then you're saying, wait, so are you well, but when you're saying that the earth is an organism, are you saying that everything on the earth is connected to the organism, or because like spiders are their own thing, you know?
Right. No, it's really just for the respect of it and to acknowledge it and to hopefully take because I'm into this idea that water and crystals have ancient information and can help heal me
That's
or
actually a good area. Do you, Latha, are you into any of that? I want to call it like new agey, like it's like Sedona, Arizona type stuff. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I do believe that there's energy in crystals. Yeah,
yeah. Do you believe that the moon charges them?
I do. I do believe
Okay, okay.
that. I do also believe that we're more impacted by the lunar cycle than we want to consciously believe.
I've been talked
yeah.
into that lately because, like, yeah, it moves water, and we're made of water, right? So,
Yeah, largely made of water, yeah. And then also like if you look at a woman's menstrual cycle and things like that, there can be so much coordination that happens with the phases of the moon. It's really interesting.
Here's a question I have. Do you feel negative about I'm so leading. I'm sorry to lead so much.
yeah. Do
I,
you hate?
I just for me, I think that the pill is disconnecting women from the moon cycle. It's like creating a different cycle.
It's a controversial take, but I agree with you. I also believe that, medicated childbirth is taking us away from that
Yeah.
as well. And I hate to say it because like I am a very big feminist and I've birthed three children, one medicated and two unmedicated. And just my own personal experience of that was like there's such a disconnect when there's that medication that comes into your body and you're numb to the experience that you're having versus when you're there and the whole experience is really there and you're present in it. It's a very different experience.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. science has come a long way, and I also don't like a lot of things about it. Like, I'm not going to go down this path, but I just want to say that, like, yeah, the the position the woman is in to give birth is so that the doctor is comfortable. So,
Yeah.
you know,
My
like,
two home births were I was standing up. And
Yeah.
one I was on my knees, but one I was standing up. I had my son, he was almost 10 pounds. Birthing him at home was a feat for sure. But I know that that was only possible because I was like, I had everything that I needed to be supported in that moment. And I think in modern society, women really aren't. So then we go through this whole huge pain experience, and it's like to numb the pain. It's more like symptom management than the actual problem of what's going on, of not
yeah.
having the full support and ability to actually do that. Actually, when I was birthing my son, I had this very trippy experience, a DMT experience. I was in labor and I was, in our bathroom looking at the mirror, kind of like hunched over on the sink, looking at the mirror, and my head turned into a entity that I had seen during ayahuasca, during an experience, a trippy experience. And I was like, what? And immediately he was born. And when I had shared this with one of my scientist friends, she had said, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." And I was like, "What are you talking about? That makes sense." It makes sense because naturally in your life you only create DMT twice. Once when you're born and once when you die. So because he was still connected to me, I was like getting a little DMT hit in his birth experience. I was like, "Whoa, that it was wild. It was really wild."
Wow.
And you saw an entity. What I'm very curious about DMT
Oh,
because people smoke it and stuff too, right? Like, or is that how you do it? You smoke it, Willie?
that's one way for DMT, not ayahuasca, but
No, no, for DMT I'm talking.
yeah, yeah.
You can smoke DMT. Yep.
Have you done that?
No comment.
Okay, so was it different than the childbirth hit that you got? Or did you recognize it? How do you
It was so fleeting. It was momentary. Honestly, it was
Okay.
like if I had not looked up in that moment, I would not have even been able to
Right,
acknowledge
right,
that
right.
was what I was experiencing, right? It was only because I had
Yeah.
a visual with it that I was like, whoa, this is weird.
Is this why? Yeah, is that why do they tell you not to look in the mirror when you're doing acid?
Because you could
Because you can scare yourself very
yeah.
easily. Is that because then all of a sudden, what, like my take, and this isn't correct. This is just how I kind of explain it. Like, I feel like the little blood going over your eyes can warp your vision a little bit because it's like thicker with the. And this isn't accurate at all, but if you're doing like trippy things, they say that it looks like everything's melting, and I think it's the pulsing of your seeing through your eyes, seeing your blood move over your eyes.
I
And
think it's
so
all yeah. Go ahead, Willie.
seeing yourself, you're going to scare the shit out of yourself because you're going to start melting and you recognize yourself. You see the walls melting. Oh, cool. Look at the walls instead of like, what's happening to me?
Right, because it seems like other, right? But as soon as you make it upon yourself, it seems like intense. That's kind of like how you can watch someone having a surgery and you're like, oh, it's kind of weird. But then if you were witnessing your own surgery, you'd be like, oh no, this is too much. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Willie, any other kind of we gotta
I know, right? I would
it's up
say
to you. I mean, it's up to you.
closing statements. I my relationship with manifesting is growing with me. I have a lot of anxiety, so I have to talk myself out of things.
Mhm.
Like I watch people die around me all day long because of my anxiety, and I'm like, oh, now I'm going to start manifesting this. And it's like, just shut up, just try to meditate more. And
Well, Willie, I want to tell you that I think it's a positive thought is exponentially more powerful than a negative thought. So anytime that you're having a negative thought of thinking the disaster is happening or someone is dying that you love or whatever the case is, you can immediately shift your energy, right? Think about five things that you're grateful for. Think about something that's extremely positive for that person. Think about how they're growing and shaping their life or reaching their goals. And that can like just, kind of like just push you a little bit towards the less anxious side of things.
right, I love that. I love hearing that because my tools for anxiety is, yeah, focus my attention. I have different little things that change my attention, but that's good. I'll try that and like move
Latha,
into
what do
that
you
realm.
think of like antidepressants? Are you or like what are they called? SSRIs? Is that what they're called?
Yeah. I think they can be helpful in acute cases. And I think that especially in the US, they're overprescribed and people are on them for way too long, and it ends up becoming a dependency in which they can never get off of them.
I don't know. I went on my soapbox last week about getting on them because they helped me. But
Yeah.
I probably could have just like, meditated or something. But who has time?
This is the thing. Like
Oh.
I'm not against any antidepressants or anything like that. I think that they're very, very useful when you're stuck and you really feel like there's nothing else I can do. But once you kind of climb a little bit out of that hole, I really feel like people can do a lot more in their life and shift the things that are initially causing that sense of depression, right? And a big
Yeah.
thing about depression is like when you feel expressed, that's the opposite of depression. You don't feel so crushed anymore. You feel like, oh, I'm free. I can express myself. And that's a big thing. And you can also put in other modalities into your life, like, yes, eating healthier, drinking water, getting more exercise, going out in the sunshine, those things that we know, but like we're not actually doing are simple things that we can kind of integrate into our life, doing more stretching, forming a community, being around people that we love and enjoy, not people that we feel like we have to be around. Right.
Yeah. But that's all work stuff, right? You got to hang out with those losers. I think Willie said it really well because I didn't even really know. I'm piggybacking on what you're saying. Um, I didn't even really know what it felt like to not be anxious until I did the medication. And Willie was like, what did you say? You said like it's a way to know that feeling so that you can get off of it or something. I
Yeah,
don't
it's like to
remember.
train your brain to not have those. Yeah, yeah. I feel
And
like
it's very in line with just like, oh, now that I see what it's like to not be like worried all the time, I could maybe recreate that without the drug, but it took, it's like a shortcut or something.
I
So,
don't think it's a shortcut. I think that if you need it, you need it.
right.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
And I think,
right.
but I think it goes hand in hand with this manifestation, meditation, and everything, because it all like that's all we've been saying this whole time. It's like reprogramming your brain, right? Or would you say like
Yeah,
rewiring,
rewiring,
rewiring?
reprogramming. Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. It's all yeah. I don't know. It sounds so easy to just be like, oh, I'll just wake up and be in a good mood.
Have you ever tried that?
I do it all the time. It's my favorite quote from Say Anything. Joan Cusack is mad at John Cusack, and he's like, "You ever just decide to be in a good mood and then be in a good mood?" And I heard that as like a, you know, angsty teen, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Wow, that's like really good advice. Just like change the way that you feel."
Mhm.
Um, but there's one thing about being happy and then another about like just letting everybody in the world get to you after trying to be happy. You know what I mean? People flashing their lights. Oh, why are you flashing your lights at me? I didn't do anything.
Maybe you got to
I'm,
turn your lights on. Maybe they're just letting you know, hey man, it's dark. Turn your lights on.
No, they're being jerks.
I'm just trying to drive.
You know what I always think if someone cuts me off or is like speeding by me or anything like that,
Right.
I always think, man, they really must need to poop. And I get it. Like you
Mm-hmm.
gotta go. And I just wish them speedy
Yeah.
way home. That's it.
People would take advantage of this, but I think it would be worth it to, like the old school cops of the 70s, have like a brown siren. Like, hey, go ahead, get in front of me. It's like if you have to poop, you put this thing on the top of your car magnet. It's a brown light
Uh-huh. Right.
and then you get to
Right.
run lights and
You get to run lights. Well, I don't think you should get to
run
run
drive in the
lights.
median, like whatever. It's like a cop.
That's extreme.
Not the curb median, just the bonus lane median.
Yeah.
Eh,
Uh,
um, that's I feel like that's poor planning on the people who have to poop. Just poop in the morning on a precise schedule like the rest of us do.
What if they have cyclosporin or they just ate a lot of dairy or
No,
I don't
no,
know.
everyone's like me. Everyone's like me. Okay, shout out your books again, and where can we get them? And do all the old ones too. I know the new one's coming out. You said October of this year.
Yeah, the new one's coming out October of this year. It's called New one's coming out October of this year, October 6th, 2026. It's called the 24/7 Manifestation Method. It's really about becoming a magnet of success in just 7 days. And that's what we talked about, rewiring our brain in just a matter of 7 days. You can get this on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, pretty much any bookstore. You can have it for pre-order. And actually, people that are pre-ordering it get a lot of really cool bonuses. I'll share a link with you guys actually for that. But if you pre-order it, you can put in your confirmation number and get a course from me as well as like a PDF every month up until the book is released. We have more bonuses that are coming out, including coaching calls and like all of this stuff. So I just want to encourage people to get in the pre-order list and like really, take charge of that and make that move to go and see, because I really do feel that this is going to impact the lives of so many people around the world. Just understanding that manifesting isn't so foreign after all. There's some real world examples in here that I've experienced, people that have come on my retreats and things like that have been able to experience as well with this methodology. So definitely go out and get this. My two other books, so I have the book, it's called The Law of Attraction Manifestation Journal. That was sold all over the world as well. But right now it's actually available on Amazon. I think maybe still at Target, Barnes and Noble, stuff like that. It was sold at Five Below for a while as well, and you could go and pick out a bunch of them. My kids really got a kick out of that. Yeah, it sold all over, for some time. And then my second book, it's called The Shadow Work Journal of Self-Love, and I co-wrote that with one of my really good friends, my cosmic besties, I call her. Her name is Valerie Inez, and that book has been translated into over 8 different languages and has been sold all around the world as well. It's been really impactful. And I mean, I get the editions that they'll send me an edition, when it's translated to a new language. There's some editions I've gotten and I had to like Google Lens it because I'm like, I don't even know what language this is. I have no idea. But how cool is that, right? That your words can be so impactful way far, places of the world I may never go, but it can just maybe change one person's life. And every now and then I'll get an Instagram message or an email from someone saying like, hey, I got your book and it really changed my life, or this really hit me this way. Thank you so much. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Speaking of Instagram, do you want to shout out your socials and have people follow you online?
Yeah, come find me on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. My handle is usually Latha, LATHA _JAY. On Instagram, there's another underscore because someone had taken it without the second underscore. So yeah, I know. There's another Latha Jay out there that.
What does she do? Do you got a rivalry?
I have no idea. I've tried to message her and be like, hey, do you want to tell me? And she never replies. I think it's like a dead account, but you can't really change it if they haven't taken it. So here we are. You can come follow me there. You can message me. I make videos pretty much every day. I have thousands of videos online on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and TikTok as well. So come find me. We're always talking about something cool and interesting.
Awesome. Yeah, well, thanks. Thank you so much for being here. We do a bonus episode. Do you want to stick around and continue the conversation? I don't know what we'll talk about. I'm curious if you're into numerology, because I noticed that 10/26/2026 when your book releases, is that intentional or not?
Yeah, I am into numerology. Actually, I was named based on numerology, and I named all of my children based on numerology as well. You want to get into it?
All right. Maybe we'll talk about that, because, I mean, you said Jim Carrey, and the number 23 is one of the heights of cinema as far as I'm concerned. So thanks again for being here. Everyone go follow the socials, look for the book. It's Latha Jay. Willie, anything?
Subscribe to our YouTube, Real Life Sci-Fi. We need to get to 1,000. So
why do we need to get to 1,000? Does it unlock something?
Yeah, it unlocks your ability to
monetize.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are we at?
I think we're at 700.
Oh, not bad. All right. I mean, we should do whatever. There's ways to get that. We just have to talk about it more. All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. Go to patreon.com/reallifesci-fi. We're going to continue the conversation over there. And remember, just because you're paranoid don't mean they're not after you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Real life sci-fi.